The strong, single, independent, I don't need no man trope. The reason it's really starting to bother me more than ever is because I feel like it doesn't give black women the ability to really be humans. I feel like it puts this expectation on them that they have to be all sufficient in and of themselves. You can't be weak. You can't ask for help. You have to figure it out alone. You have to do it alone. You have to be, your own financial advisor. You have to be your own leader. You have to be your own emotional support. You have to be all these things. And I feel like that's so much pressure. It's so much pressure to have to do it all alone by yourself. And that idea of I'm strong, single, independent, I don't even think it allows room for weakness. And if you're a human, we all have weak areas. We all have weak points. We all have times where we feel like, I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm scared and I'm afraid. And that's okay. I think that's okay. But I think it's really unhealthy that this is a pervading mindset. And there's probably many reasons for this. I know I've heard people point to the color purpling of the black community, or feminism, or, prison rates, or, single parent house. I mean, there's all these different reasons that I've heard for why this could be a pervading mindset among black women. But at the end of the day, I just don't necessarily think it's the most helpful. I agree that it's good to be strong. I think women should be strong in character. I think they should have a good sense of self and have good morals and values. Completely agree there. Independent, I also think it's okay to be independent. I think it's okay to, again, be independent in your self-esteem or your value. That how you believe and what you believe about yourself to come from God, for you to have a strong, independent sense of a God identity, I think is really, really important, and I'm all for that. But I don't think that means that you don't need to be with another person, or that you shouldn't be with another person. I'm like, why can't you be strong and independent, but also still have a partner? Or still work together with someone, or be interdependent? Why can't you be interdependent and work with somebody and work with a man? Why does it have to be that you're doing all these things by yourself? And I remember talking to an older white woman, and she's just like, yeah, like, for me, I don't understand modern women today, because when I was younger, I felt like, yeah, I needed a man. She mentioned to me that she had had some situation where she had had a kid and her husband walked out on her, and she was doing the single mother thing for a few years, and she's just like, I'm tired of this. I need a man. I want to do better. And she she found a man, got married young after her second relationship broke up, and she's been married for, I think, over 40 years now. Well taken care of wife. But I just remember listening to her ideology, and she's thinking, yeah, like, God blessed me with this man, and he's helped done this and he's helped done that, and we worked together. And it was just a completely different mindset. She didn't have this idea of like, oh, I had to do things by myself, and I had to figure it out, and I had to work extra hours, or I had to, work this job, work that job, and then go to school, but do it all. I had to be superwoman. Like, she didn't have this superwoman complex. And that is at the core issue that I think that is behind this strong, single, independent, I don't need a man ideology, is this superwoman complex. And I'm like, that is completely exhausting. I think it's a lot better off and probably a lot easier to just work with somebody. And to say, I don't have it all figured out. Hindsight is 2020. And so no one can have it all figured out. I think it's a lot better and a lot healthier to just say, okay, I can do this well, I can't do this well. I can do this thing really well by myself, but I really need help here. And I think that's a lot healthier. And so for black women, I believe it's possible to, again, be strong in character, be strong in values, to be independent, have an independent idea of self-worth, to have a sense of self-worth that only comes from Christ, only comes from God. That I'm so for that. But the I don't need a man, or I don't need a person ideology, I think that's primarily where I have an issue. And I think that that aspect needs to be changed. I think, no, we do need each other. The human population actually does need each other in order to exist. as a woman, if you want your lineage to continue, you actually do need a man. Sorry. But even apart from that, why do things by yourself? Why struggle and do things alone if you don't have to? It's one thing if, you know, if you're happy and you're content in your singleness, that's okay. But I think a lot of people, there's a lot of women who kind of use that trope and fall under that mindset, and they don't allow themselves the freedom to be weak in an area, or to say, ugh, crap, I don't have this, or to just be humble. And it's okay to be humble. It's okay to admit that you don't know it all. It's okay to be teachable and learn. That's where sometimes having a man in your life can help. That's where sometimes having a partner in your life can actually help, where you can say, man, I don't know how to do this. And they can say, oh, well, I got you there. Like, that can be a good thing. And I don't think there shouldn't be fear. And so I would even say, you know, to those women who think they're strong and independent, you can be strong and independent and still work with somebody. You can be strong and independent and still not have it all together in all areas, or still recognize that there's weak areas that you're trying to grow at. But I think that's a more balanced view than trying to be superwoman and trying to do and figure things out on your own. Because my personal opinion is that could just probably get exhausting over time. But those are just my thoughts. What do you think? The strong, single, independent, I don't need a man trope, is that damaging the Black community? Or is that empowering to women? Let me know. Leave your questions, comments, concerns in the comment section below. And thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far. And be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to hear more content like this. Thank you so much, and talk later. Bye.